Good morning. We are in Santa Cruz Island in the Galapagos this morning. This week is just flying by. Today is all about land-based creatures, and so we're going to go up into the highlands and see the giant tortoises in the wild, and then have a little lunch, and then we'll come back and we'll go to the Darwin Center and see where they actually are bringing some of the species back and hatching the little guys that become very, very big guys. So stay tuned and see what we find. I created a song for the day. It's Giant Tortoise Day, it's Giant Tortoise Day. It's Giant Tortoise Day, it's Giant Tortoise Day. When you're in the mountains and you don't know what to say, it's Giant Tortoise Day, it's Giant Tortoise Day.
Okay, we are halfway through our expedition and getting a bit punchy. Santa Cruz Island would be the only significant inhabited island we would visit other than our embarkation port at San Cristobal. It's amazing how quickly you get used to not seeing cars and people. Our expedition this morning would be led by Karina, who was a native of the Galapagos and who studied giant tortoises at university. Our small group of 12 grabbed a bus that over the next 40 minutes took us into the highlands. This island, while beautiful, was the polar, or let's say floral, opposite of Fernandina and Isabella Islands. We passed lush tropical vegetation, all introduced, not endemic, and banana and papaya plantations before turning off the road and almost immediately seeing our first giant tortoise. Also, the larger shell-less grazing tortoises. Another 5 minutes of careful navigation around road-traveling tortoises, we arrived at Rancho Manzanillo, which is a ranch, a restaurant, a brewery, and a distillery. We had expected that we would need to take a hike in order to see one or two tortoises, but the reality is the grassy areas of the rancho is an area these great ancient creatures thrive. Within minutes of starting our walk, we encountered tortoises in just about every size. Definitely happy tortoises live here. Our next stop down the trail was a large pond where we saw a really big male heading for a mud bath.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble then. This is a tree.
Oh, a tree. This is a tree.
Yeah. These are rocks.
Here's some rocks.
This is the very special kind of moss. It's the Cape moss.
Okay.
Yeah, the Cape moss, yeah.
Cape moss. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot.
I know.
Well, thanks to my competent trail guide leadership, we came to the next clearing for a few more photos with these magnificent reptiles.
Tortoises prefer, and they prefer the
After a very nice cup of Ecuadorian strong coffee, we headed back to the port. We spent our afternoon at the Fausto Lloreno Breeding Center.
The highlight of the whole breeding process, the little babies.
This breeding facility raises the tortoises from particularly threatened populations, raising them to a size where they have the ability to survive in their native home islands. Note the colors on the backs of the young tortoises are indicators of the species. 13 species of the original 15 species remain. However, total numbers have been dramatically impacted since humans arrived in the islands. Originally, there were some 250,000 to 300,000 tortoises in the Galapagos, and estimated numbers today are 15 to 17,000 individuals. Large tortoises are kept at the center for the purposes of breeding more threatened populations. A final cautionary tale at the center is the story of Lonesome George. Lonesome George was the last of the Pinta Island tortoises. Although researchers scoured populations looking for a female match for George, ultimately George died as the last of his species. After our visit to the center was done, we had about an hour to wander through Puerto Ayora. Spirits were high in town as every bar had the Ecuador-Jamaica match on. Kids spent the last hours of daylight jumping into the harbor, and our sea lion friends looked to go boating. Another deeply satisfying day was at an end in the Galapagos. We'll see you next time. Good night.